Hello, I'm Kevin Yorn, and today we're going to be talking about MOOCs, or Massive Open Online Courses. Now, MOOCs have really changed the way that education is today. It used to be that if you would want to take a class, you would have to go to a local university, community college, or you would have to travel to that college and physically be there to take these courses. Since then, they've come up with online courses in which you can still enroll in the college and take these courses and get the education that you need. With MOOCs, it's a little bit different. You don't have to be part of the college to take the class. It's a great way to gain an education in something and learn the best way you can at your leisure. So MOOCs are really changing the world. Now, what I really want to touch on today is using the paranormal in MOOCs. Now, I've been a paranormal investigator since I was 14 years old. That's a little over 15 years for me. I started in my own group back in 2005, and I worked as best as I could with the number of hands that we had at the time to make myself as professional as I can in the field, mainly for my local area, which is in central New York. Since then, my group has dispersed, and I have moved on to another group. Recently, I joined up with Rome Investigators of the Paranormal, or RIP for short. They're a group that has been in my local area out of Rome, New York, since 2002. They've done a great job, and they've always projected themselves in a professional manner, and every time that I've contacted them when I had my own group, they've always been there for me to answer any questions or to assist anybody that I couldn't help at that time. So since I've joined their group, they've also recently placed me in charge of their online videos, such as their YouTube account. We'll see if we can actually use the MOOC to our advantage in that. Now, RIP has been coming up with syllabuses, as well as other groups are doing the same thing, in which they're approaching community colleges and asking if they can teach courses in paranormal investigation. Now, the reason that they're doing this is because since the paranormal world is actually more of a non-for-profit, as such, Rome Investigators of the Paranormal are a non-profit group, we are donating and volunteering our time to go in and help people. So when it comes to actually training new researchers and new members, this is coming out of our own time in volunteering. So what we decided to do was to set up a course in which we can actually teach people how to investigate and how we do it as a basis, so that if anybody wants to join up later on, they are already trained and we don't have to go through the extra training outside and in our own time. Now, where does the MOOC come in? The paranormal world is very hard to come by. It's not an exact science. That is a very argued statement that I just made. The reason I say it's not an exact science is we are not specifically noted by the scientific community. We volunteer our time to do all this research and prove that the paranormal is real. Whether we're trying to prove or disprove that there are spirits or ghosts, prove or disprove that there was angels and demons. We do get into the religious aspect of that, but we try and get more scientific in that can we prove that what actually happened to these people is not something that's within this world that we can actually say is what caused it. Along with the paranormal, it's a very tough field in itself because of the lump sum of things that gets brought into it. Paranormal is basically a big word for the unknown. There's a lot of unknown sciences that they like to lump with us because it's very hard to prove. We have cryptozoology, which is basically the Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, the swamp ape, things of those that past that are being lumped into our group because they're so unknown. They can't say for sure that they've been around. Aliens are being lumped into that, or extraterrestrials. along with the most known of ghost spirits, demons, angels. Now, with this, we would like to get onto a plane. And that one plane is one single notion of what the paranormal is. Some people take this term as paranormal unity. There's two ways that paranormal unity is taken. There's one way in which we all work together because we're all trying to come for the same thing. Another way that paranormal unity is taken is that we all agree on one structure across the world, that this is the way it's done. Much like science is. It's the same way as you're doing a math problem. We're going to say, this is how you do a math problem, and that's it. We're basically trying to do that exact same thing. Now, where can the MOOC come involved? Basically, the way that people are trained now is exactly what I said before. They join a group, and we take them to a place where they know they're going to get experiences. Whether we know that it is notably haunted or that we know that it's haunted, they're going to get experience, and if they don't, we can still see how that they work with our equipment. Now, our equipment is very standard equipment. The camera that I'm using right now is a Nikon DSLR camera. You can see that it shoots in very great quality. This can be used on our investigations, whether for video or photo purposes. We also use voice recorders and some other technologies such as EMF detectors or electromagnetic field detectors. They check for spikes in electricity. We also use thermometers, digital thermometers, to check air temperature. So we are a very scientific field. They are the most known technologies across the board, as a lot of people use them. So that is one way that we are all starting to come across as a central plane of the way that we investigate. Now, with us and other groups creating these courseworks to actually teach people how to do the investigation, this is a little bit broader for us. We're actually coming up with classes. You're going to do classwork. You're going to, at the end of it all, you're going to actually go on an investigation and show us what you've learned. This way, if they want to join up later on, we can pull from them and we can do it. Now, talking more on the broader field and trying to get more scientific, that's where the MOOC comes involved. If we can actually set up a MOOC that is a global program that anybody can take the class from anywhere in the world, we can actually get on that central plane at a global level, saying that this is how we investigate, this is how it's done, this is the way we believe it should be done. That will give more credibility to the paranormal world and where we are and as we stand as societies. So if we can actually create this MOOC and allow anybody to join, obviously it's going to be free of charge. As such, it's still an inexact science. You would go on, do the coursework, and the toughest part about that would actually be the investigative part of it. But even then, we're still learning different things. You've seen multiple TV shows where they have something called panic buttons or evidence cams. Basically what that is you can actually watch the show on television or online as a live feed. Now, as you're watching it, you can watch certain cameras that they have set up as their DVRs are running. You can see what they're seeing over the live internet. From there, they use websites to actually connect buttons. Anybody that's watching can actually press on these buttons and say, hey, I just saw something there. We can set this up in a MOOC session. Whether we set it up as a Zoom session, a Skype, using something like that, and then setting up a quick button to say, okay, hey, I got something in this room. There's nothing saying that we have to be on the premises to actually be doing the paranormal investigations. Even though a lot of it is physical, what you're feeling at that particular moment, one of the biggest parts of our paranormal investigation is actually going over the evidence at the end. Going over evidence takes a long time. But if you actually have one person that's sitting there watching that one single camera the entire time that we're investigating, that'll save a lot of time in the long run. Now, if you add in a MOOC, say we have 50 people that are signed up for that MOOC class. They are now qualified to watch for evidence, what they might be looking for, and actually keep an eye on it for us. Now, if we have 50 people, and we'll set up 12 cameras, we can almost set up 5 to 10 people on one camera. And that way, we can actually have 5 people saying, okay, I saw this. Did you see it? No, I didn't. Well, this guy did, this person did. We have better qualified evidence to say that we came from these people. They can mark it down for us, we go back, we review it, and then from there we can actually look into the evidence. So that's why I think the MOOCs are great. Personally, I've never taken a MOOC myself, but looking into what a MOOC can accomplish for us would actually be a great endeavor for the paranormal field. Taking the ION classes as I am now for my current college, working on my master's, it is really showing that I can work it at my level, and at the same time I can get a lot of coursework done while I'm talking to other students in the class and see how they would have done it. Especially with this class that this actually video is for, is we're talking more along the lines of, you know, other people's ideas of why we're going to be doing this. So I thank you for watching the video. I hope you tuned in and enjoyed it. Please look for more videos to come on RIP's YouTube site. Look for Rome Investigators of the Paranormal on YouTube. We're hopefully going to be having more of a class type video coming up for you, and hope to see you then. Thank you very much.